Hello, and thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Ciera Payton, and this is my YouTube channel. Now, as always, if you have been here for a while, thank you so much for rocking it out with me. I know I have posted an array of videos over the years, and you have stuck around. Lucky you. Now, for those of you who are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I created this channel because I wanted to share a little bit about my background as an actress, entrepreneur, educator, and speaker in hopes to not only entertain you, but to help you along your creative journey. So please, please, please be sure to take a moment right now to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And you can also hit the bell so you can know whenever I post new videos. This is all for you. So here we go. All right, so let's talk about publicists, and I'll talk a little bit about my publicist journey. All right. What is a publicist? Basically, a publicist is someone that you hire to help spread brand awareness about you. They are the people that are pitching you to, media outlets, news outlets, magazines, newspapers, podcasts, all those sorts of things to help bring awareness to you or a project that you're working on. And you have to pay that person. And so publicists can range anywhere from, $1,500 a month to, $10,000 a month, but they're not limited to $10,000 a month. I'm sure there's publicists out there that charge way, way, way more. But this is somebody that you pay on either a monthly basis or, you have a contract with them, and they're gonna help, get you media opportunities. Now, they don't necessarily create media opportunities for you. That's what, ad agencies do and stuff like that. But basically, they're the person that will approach, say your local news outlet or a magazine corporation and be like, hey, I have Ciera here. She's on such and such movie or such and such show, and would you like to interview her, to talk about, her experience or whatever. So, that's in a nutshell what a publicist is. Now, my publicist journey has been, I would say pretty cool so far, and I'm still navigating it and figuring out the best way, that works for me. But basically, the very first time I had any experience with a publicist was when I was working with a friend of mine who was interning for a publicist here in Los Angeles. I spoke a little bit about that in my video about my first red carpet experience. But basically, I started out with that. My friend was interning for this publicist here in Los Angeles, and she was really trying to get her feet wet in the business, and she was a good friend of mine. And so she basically just took me on, kind of like side pocketed me as her client. And she didn't ask me for any money or anything. Basically, she would pitch me for different opportunities for different magazines, red carpet appearances and stuff like that. And, she would go along for the experience, and, we just had a really, really cool time during that. A little later down the line, I got my first publicist. She was amazing. Her name's Tony. She was working independently, and she just was helping me really just start to, get my name out there a little bit. I was also working on creating a lipstick company at the time. And so, she basically, get me some coverage around that. I also had my one-woman show, Michael's Daughter. And so she was helping me as well, just kind of get that out there and just talk about some of the things that I was working on. And I paid her commission, and it was pretty awesome. And so, we worked for a little while together. Yeah, we had a really great time doing that. And then, years later down the line, I ended up working with another publicist. That was when I had booked the Medea's Family Funeral movie. And by the time it came out, I needed to have a publicist to help promote it and to, help me get some press and media as well. And so I was working with them. And then again, down the line, I now work with another publicist. Actually, it's a team of two amazing women. And yeah, when I was doing the Wendy Williams movie, when it came out, we did a whole campaign for about 3 months. And so yeah, so that's a little bit about my publicity journey. And so I want to talk really right now about, when should you get a publicist, and if it's necessary, if it's not, and again, touch on a little bit about the cost of that. So, I mentioned I kind of worked with these different publicists, throughout different parts of my career and my journey. And I would say working with a publicist is really, really awesome. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. They really are, your cheerleader, and they're going out there and they're working hard on your behalf and really pitching you, to different outlets to just try to get you seen, get you heard, and just kind of get awareness about you and who you are as an actor. I would say, something to really think about and be very, very, very fully aware of and honest with yourself about when working with a publicist is the fact that, they charge most times a monthly fee or whatever the extent of your contract or whatever is. There is, usually a hefty fee involved. I just read an article not so long ago about one of the actresses on Euphoria, and she talked about how she pays her publicist more than what her mortgage is. And yes, publicists can be very, very pricey. But again, the best way that I kind of describe them, they're kind of like your cheerleader, and they're someone that you're paying to really help to promote you. Now, that's something that you want to be thinking about, whenever you want to book a publicist. I would say on the lower end, again, they're about $1,000 a month, and they can range all the way up to $10,000 a month. I wouldn't say look at it in terms of the more money you spend, the better or whatever. Some publicists, especially the $10,000 a month publicists, are very exclusive, so they have a very, very tight roster of talent and actors that they work with. So, you might not get in the door with them unless if you're on the biggest blockbuster movie of the century or whatever. But for the most part, you're gonna probably wanna work with a publicist that, is affordable for you. Now, when to get a publicist is one of the things that I would say that I've learned a lot throughout my journey. When I was first starting out working with my friend who was, interning, it was a lot of fun. It gave me a lot of awareness and taught me a lot about what the glitz and glam side of the business is. I mean, that stuff is so much fun, getting on the red carpet, going to exclusive events, getting interviewed and stuff like that. It's amazing and it's a lot of fun. But, paying for that on a monthly basis or, having someone on retainer for that, you have to kind of weigh sometimes, how necessary it is, especially if, you don't have a project or something going on. I would say that in order to have a publicist, you don't necessarily have to have a project. There's so many people out there, right now who, keep publicists on retainers and, are constantly going to different award shows and being seen at this event or getting into People magazine on a weekly basis or whatever. And that stuff is really cool. I would say that it's something that you really have to gauge for yourself, how important that is for you or how necessary you feel that is for you in your business and also your bank account. Getting that type of constant awareness or getting that type of constant exposure, I think is good, for an actor and, for your brand, especially, if you're doing things outside of acting, like if you have a wine company or, you're selling jewelry or whatever, if you're getting constantly seen, photographed or, interviewed or whatever, those gives you opportunities to help promote your other endeavors and just have people know that you have things going on. But again, you have to assess how important that is for you and also assess, the cost around that. For me personally, like I said, I started out working with my friend and then, I got a publicist down the line when I was doing my one-woman show and crafting my lipstick company. And then, way, way, way down the line when I had Medea's Family Funeral come out, that's when, I really was like, okay, I'm gonna try to capitalize on this experience and get a publicist. And then of course, when the Wendy Williams movie came out, that's when I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely, doing the publicist route and getting a campaign because it just made sense for me at that time because I had, these projects coming out and not only, was I getting promoted, but at the same time, the project that I was working on was being promoted. It just made sense to have somebody working, on my behalf with the network and the studios to just basically work in tandem to, help secure different media opportunities for me to help promote, their movie or their TV show. So when to get a publicist, to just go back to that, it's really up to you. But my advice is always save your money and kind of just wait to hire a publicist when you have really, really cool and a really big opportunity that's coming out. If you have a movie that's going to theater or, you have a TV series where you're probably, doing a big arc on or you're a series regular on it, that would be the time to get a publicist. Or, Or, you know, I remember hearing very early on in my career that there were actors that every time they did, you know, some children's theater or did, you know, a smaller part or whatever in whatever production, they would hire a publicist, and that worked for them. A lot of publicists that I have spoken with over the years, you know, they believe in just really getting you exposure, you know, in the best ways possible. And that means, you know, getting you on the red carpets, you know, getting you on podcasts, getting you, you know, working with different just media outlets, however they can. And I think that stuff is really, really valuable to, again, getting brand awareness about you. But, you know, it's also something that you have to be mindful of in terms of it costs money. That's a monthly retainer. And how important is it for you to, you know, kind of be out in the limelight all the time? That's just something that you have to assess. And I would say personally for me, I feel it sometimes. I, you know, get on social media and I see, you know, fellow friends and artists and stuff like that who are, you know, at such and such premiere or whatever. I'm like, ooh, I wish I were there. But then I'm also, you know, really mindful of, you know, what the costs are of being an actor. And so I just kind of weigh and gauge sometimes of, hey, do I want to put my money into that right now? Yes, it is somewhat of an investment for yourself, but I can put my money, you know, towards something else or save it for something else down the line. And, you know, the publicists and stuff like that, they're going to come. Those things are going to come. Speaking of this right now is really reminding me about a conversation that I had when I got the chance and opportunity to meet Viola Davis. It was a really, really awesome and great conversation. And that was one of the things that she had told me, you know, when we were talking, that, you know, very early on in her career, that, you know, she really felt that those things were really important, that she wanted to get a publicist and get this and get that. And, you know, her husband was like, hey, all that stuff's going to come. Just keep showing up and doing the work. And I am living proof that that is so, so, so true. You just keep showing up and doing the work and save your money or invest your money in smart ways. The publicists, the big movies, the series regulars, the movies in the theaters, all that stuff is going to come, and people are going to see you. You're going to get your opportunity if you just keep showing up and putting in the work. And so I love working with publicists. They are amazing. And I would just say for you, you just have to weigh and gauge, you know, what works best for you, what matters most to you. And then, yeah, you just go from there. So I hope you found this very helpful. If you have enjoyed this video, please go ahead, again, hit like and hit subscribe. You can also hit the little bell so you can know whenever I post a new video. I try to post them every week. And so if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I love reading them and I love being able to answer your questions in my videos. So again, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you at the next video. Until then, take care and have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right, bye.